Namaste and welcome to this evening's new moon meditation with me, Ellie Latrobe. So we are completing the cycle of the Zodiac, beginning obviously last year with Aries, and the seeds that we were growing from that time have come to fruition. We've learned from them, we've grown from them. There's some things that we've overcome, we have grown, there has been big challenges, there's been great times, there's been hard times, but hopefully right now is a massive opportunity to let go of that which we've experienced in the last cycle of life on this planet, to reflect on where we are right now. And in this kind of precipice between the end of this one cycle and the beginning of a new, give ourselves some space just to be. So the Zodiac, just to remind ourselves, is just one symbolic reflection of life itself. From this Pisces, Aries point from death to rebirth, here we have the one life that is love, that is unity of the whole, which is the spirit that enlivens every one of us in every single atom in our body. And this oneness there becomes a spark of life that enters the mind. And from that point in the mind in Aries, an idea, a thought is created. And the thought descends down to reach its kind of most physical point in the cycle at the kind of Leo, Virgo point of the cycle. So 6 months post the beginning of that seed, of that impulse, growing and showing itself in Virgo, the kind of sign of the mother. And then that seed, that idea that has grown, that has flourished, that has been improved, there's further work to do to take that idea to its most elevated possibility from its this kind of potential, the potential within every idea, and take it to its highest point, which is the birth. This Capricorn is the highest point of the mountain. So if you've been following these meditations, the Capricorn meditation, very much about this goat transforming to a unicorn at the peak of the mountain in Capricorn. And then once one has taken any idea, any life that one is living, incarnate, to its highest point of aspiration or even achievement, then they come down into reality and give all of that of service to the world. This is Aquarius, and then even further into Pisces. So it's kind of given away. It's of service to the world. It's helping the greater whole, but in societies, in humanity. And then in Pisces, all of that is let go of. There is an ending, so that which has been created from a spiritual impulse to physical form is then returned back to the spiritual realm. So symbolically, this is like a dream to reality, fulfilling its highest potential and then being allowed to end so that something new can come in. So that's not to say that every single zodiacal cycle we have to create a new job, a new relationship, a new identity. We're leaving this pause, this ability to allow these new, allowing ourselves firstly the space to feel, to be reconnected to our intuitive feelingness and ability to know just through the feelings in our body, in the emotions that we're feeling, what the spiritual realm is trying to tell us. So we just don't want to be kept in this kind of unconscious cycle of living and life and doing the same thing round and around and round again unconsciously. So within each of these kind of points in the natural zodiacal cycle, the natural cycle of life, we are permeating them with these questions. And the one right now is, what do I need to let go of? What in my life is coming to a close, is coming to an end? So that in the Aries season, we can really allow those seeds from the spiritual impulse to be received by our mind, to be created into new ideas, so that we can seed them to create our new realities. So Pisces is, like everything, has a higher and a lower kind of octave. It has a kind of soul expression and a personality expression. So if you've been following me for a while, we talk about life and us as individuals as having a soul and a personality. And each of the zodiacal energies influences our soul or our personality, depending on our birth chart, depending on who we are, how we're set up. So Pisces is obviously a water sign, so it's influencing our emotions. Emotions are the part of the body that relate directly to water. It's a mutable sign, so it's highly changeable. And in its symbol, we have these two fishes swimming opposite each other, connected by this rod. So they're intrinsically, continuously connected. But it's a symbol of duality. There is this struggle of the soul incarnating into physical form on one fish, and then the struggle of the soul unincarnating, returning back to source in the other fish. So it's a kind of sacrifice both way round. The soul sacrifices its spiritual existence for the material realm, and then the soul sacrifices its material existence for the spiritual realm. But both are essential for this kind of interplay of life and living. And the rulers of Pisces are fundamental to our understanding of what Pisces brings us. So on a personality side, it's influenced by Jupiter and Neptune. But on Jupiter, it's very much the love aspect of Jupiter. Jupiter has two ways it can affect. It can affect in expanding into love or expanding into wisdom. And here in Pisces, we're expanding into love, higher love. That oneness that we're coming out of. And then Neptune is taking us even deeper into space. It's taking us into, idealism and the realm of fantasy. So sometimes it can affect us by taking us on these fantasy journeys in our mind, of perhaps getting lost in the sensations and feelings of that connection to our deeper sensitivity. So sometimes that can lead the personality, us in living our normal everyday lives, to want to kind of lessen the feeling of it. So escapism, we can want to, there's two ways that can manifest. One is escapism, where we just don't really want to be involved in everyday life, and we just escape all of those things which try and stop us from expanding into space. Or secondly, we can numb ourselves, wanting to drink caffeine, sweet things, even spicy things, spicing up our life so that we don't feel those uncomfortable feelings. And I don't know about you, but definitely for me, the Pisces effect has been very strong in this new moon, because we have the sun in Pisces, we have Neptune in Pisces, we have Venus in Pisces, and then the moon joins as well. So this is symbolic of that Piscean energy that we've already been talking about, affecting our personality directly. So all of those deep feelings are arising. It's affecting the moon, our emotional body, and all of those kind of deep memories, those ones that we can't even put into images or words. They're just feelings. They're like the imprint that we have kind of in the womb or when we're very young. They're just like a sense of sadness or a sense of shame or anger can arise in our life in very different ways. So that sensitivity is being magnified by all of these placements here. And Neptune obviously has its home in Pisces, and the Sun here is bringing it out into our everyday lives. And so those emotions we need to be present to and give them some space to feel them, for them to be seen. Because the emotions don't go away unless they're seen. And as much as society doesn't like this emotion thing, they are very real. And these feelings that we have been carrying around with us, whether in faint memories from our childhood or from experiences that we've had along the way, are there to be transformed. They're not there to be ignored. For if we ignore them, we just end up carrying them around, and they either shape unconsciously or on the sidelines. They're on the subconscious sidelines. They're affecting our relationships, the way that we act in the world. They disable us to live in our full power. And the other thing with emotions is if we are keeping them layer upon layer, it gets to a point where they're so full that one, we can't feel that natural sensitivity to that, the infinite through our feelings anymore. We don't know what our feelings mean anymore. And it becomes quite painful to go there. It needs a great amount of support and a great amount of love. For me specifically, the emotion arose and a kind of a real rising up of this observation of the imbalance between the feminine and the masculine, and specifically this inability for society to accept emotion. As much as the strive for mental health, and it's okay to not be okay, is bringing about a new revolution in mental health, there is also this emotional well-being, which we're all happy with the well-being part of emotional well-being. But the only way we get to that emotional well-being place is to look at, make friends, get curious with all of those more uncomfortable emotions, be they anger, frustration, sadness, grief, shame, disgust, all of these things. And all of them actually have a superpower. And this is the superpower of the feminine, not the woman, the feminine. And like men have emotions, women have emotions. No matter what your gender identity, you have emotions. As individuals, just individuals, we have this feminine sensitivity of feeling, of knowing what it is to feel passionate about something, whether it's passionate in love with something, to lust to love, or whether it is to feel frustrated about something that's going on in one's life or in society or in the world. And when we tether that emotion, it brings up this feminine power, which enables us to take us to a new place. It doesn't work by suppressing. It's the same, suppressing the feminine power by putting it in a fluffy white box with rose petals and lace on, and asked to be nice and asked to be good. So I'm very much inspired to go more into this balance of feminine and masculine in my spring equinox workshop next week. So I'm going to kind of break down the zodiac and show the archetypes of the feminine and the masculine within the context of the zodiac, and how their symbolic referencing is a framework to help us re-establish our own feminine, masculine balance within ourselves. And it's links into the change that we're going through now from the yin phase of the year to the yang phase of the year, that we want to pause at this point of, from our being to our doing, to recognize within ourselves where our feminine power and our masculine power needs to meet and needs to unite. So then on a soul level, moving on, onto the soul level of Pisces, is ruled by Pluto. So Pluto is very much the planet of death and rebirth. It's like the Kali energy that is using kind of willpower and is destroying what is not needed anymore. So as hard as it is to let go of whatever we've experienced, whatever we've created, whatever our identity is so far, the relationships that aren't serving us, the roles in our life that aren't serving us, it is to let go of them. We need this continual letting go and this clearing out of what has been so that we allow the new in. So that force of Pisces is highly evolved. For without that clearing process, it's like living in a house and we're just accumulating feelings and sensations that we're feeling out in Spaceman, or we're deep feeling in our human existence and carrying it with us, and disempowering us from living who we actually really are, because none of us are these balls of frustrated emotions. They are just parts of life and living that we have not put down yet. So we're going to invoke a good bit of Kali today, a good bit of that Plutonic energy of like, okay, let's let it just drop. Let's be compassionate and loving. Let's invoke also that unconditional love for ourselves, hey? As much as I'm reading lots of astrology reports right now and they're saying, time to get romantic, time to get dreamy, there's no real love and romance if we're not letting go of some of the baggage that we're carrying along with us. So find yourself a comfortable seated position and we'll begin the meditation. You can sit on a chair or you can sit cross-legged, it's up to you. Just be mindful of your body. As much as Pisces is leaving the body, we don't want to leave this body feeling in pain. So maybe any movements that feel good for you. Big fan of some cat-cows. Closing your eyes, palms down on your knees, just rubbing those legs, and swallow the mouth. Maybe cough and swallow, clear whatever is stuck in your throat. Pisces relates to our sacral center. I'm going to take one hand and just tap our breastbone with your eyes closed. Take a big inhale, cough. Clear whatever is needing clearing and swallow one more time. And closing your eyes, let your hands rest on your lap. Feeling into how your spine feels as you lengthen the spine upwards towards the sky above you. Exhale, grounding through this amazing column, physically manifesting that which connects us between our physical and our spiritual. Lengthening the breath as you exhale, visualize movement down through the spine, through the base of the sits bones into the center of the earth beneath. Inhaling, lengthen the spine up through the crown of the head. Lengthening with every inhale and grounding with every exhale. The feminine brings us down and into our being. And the masculine lifts us up and out. Filling up the lungs a little more by exhaling, letting go. Inhale a little more deeply. Exhale fully. Squeezing out at the end of the breath. Let go of what you no longer need. Inhale. Draw in more love. And exhale, let go of what you don't need. Inhale, draw in more love. Exhale, let go of whatever is coming to an end, is coming to a close. Last one. And rubbing your hands together. Placing your left hand on your heart, right hand on top. Feel into your heart, your biological and your spiritual heart. Sending yourself a little bit of compassion this evening. Sending yourself that love with a capital L. That love that knows in your deepest aspect of your feminine being that you are enough, just as you are. Saying in your mind's eye, I am enough. Just as you are. And finding some gratitude for this physical body, sensing through the physical, and sending love to the whole of this body, to places that feel good, to places that feel challenged. And then to your emotional body, observing how you feel. And thanking those emotions, whatever they may be. And then to the thoughts. Whether you're free from thoughts right now, whether your head is busy. And just thanking the thoughts. And with your exhale, let them fly up into the sky. Thanking your a mental ability to think, to create thoughts. And through this capacity to create thoughts, your own capacity to create your own reality. For emotions arise as we feel them, just like the waves in the ocean. But the thoughts we create out of those waves of emotion are up to our own choosing. And turning your gaze to your spiritual heart, feeling the vibration between the palms of your hands and your chest. Knowing that within you there is this seat of consciousness. You're able to be conscious of your own reality, to your experiences, to the sensations of physical life. You're able to experience emotions. You're able to see thoughts. This consciousness that is within you is part of your soul. And to your soul, you send some gratitude, some love for being there as your voice of conscience, your intuitive guide through this life. And as you turn your gaze inwards and upwards to your third eye, option to release your hands with palms facing up or leave your palms on your chest. And as you turn your gaze inwards and upwards, let yourself expand into the whole of your being through this personality of your physical, emotional, and mental, through your soul into your spirit. Know the sacrifice your soul made to be incarnate again, and the sacrifice your soul will make at the end of this life, returning back to the spiritual realm. Seeing the cycle of death and rebirth. And expanding into the life that is. And as we open to that life, we allow that Pluto ruler of Pisces to clear out and away all those parts of our life that we have lived, that we need to let go back to the cosmic soup, to lessen our load. With every exhale, lightening your load. With every inhale, drawing in that light. And as this light enters and your load lightens, observe the feelings and sensations and emotions. Be present to what you feel. If you haven't already, release your hands to your knees with your palms facing up. Take a big inhale and exhale through your mouth. Scanning your body from the base and soles of your feet through your legs and up through the spine, the torso, through the shoulders, the arms, up through the neck, into the face and the skull. Let yourself expand into the new space. And in this new space that you are expanding into lovingly, with your eye gaze inwards and upwards, allow yourself to receive any guidance that you need right now. Ask yourself, what is your next step? And what is your intention for the start of this next lunar cycle, where we reach our peak of this cycle in the Aries full moon, Aries Libra full moon. And then back to just receiving from the chaos of the infinite, where we have our being, where we have our life. And draw that down through that spine, back down into that incarnate root, down to your brain, down to your heart, down to your core, down to the whole of your body. And breathe. Full deep breaths. The breath directly connects us to our etheric body, and through that etheric body we can move those emotions. We can clear out a deeper level. And then softening one more time, just being. And from this place of being, draw light down into your mind's eye and out into all those other individuals on this planet. May we all be able to receive our own intuitive guidance. And from the deepest path of our heart, that deepest place of love, allow that love to upwell and overpour to all those other souls on this planet. May they too be able to know that they are enough and feel that unconditional love. And then from the core of your being, feel that purpose, that unique creative expression that we all have within us. And through goodwill, connecting to all other individuals on this planet and wishing them well, wishing they find their own unique expression in this life. Live themselves unique. and to the all that is. Sounding Om to seal our practice, taking an inhale and exhale. An inhale for Om. See how you feel. You might want to just lie down for a bit and integrate and let the sensations that you're feeling just wash over you, and let that wash out and down and and into the divine feminine that is just in our being. So namaste, and thank you for joining me this evening. Next Saturday morning, I will be running a 2-hour workshop, most likely on YouTube, but do send me an email or DM me for further details or to book on for that. And then the following week, it will be the new full moon again. So we will see if the seeds of our intentions from this practice will have reached their fruition and be illuminated in our own minds and in the lives that we are living right now. So until then, namaste.